If your Microsoft 365 tenant still allows legacy authentication, attackers can bypass my MFA completely, and many organizations do not even realize it's enabled. Hi everyone, this is Jaspreet. Welcome to IT Blogs by Jaspreet, where I break down real-world IT, cybersecurity, and Microsoft 365 issues based on what I see in day-to-day environments. In today's video, we are talking about legacy authentication in Microsoft 365, why it's dangerous, why attackers still use it, and why you should disable it immediately. So the question comes, what is legacy authentication? So legacy authentication refers to older sign-in methods that do not support modern security controls such as multi-factor authentication. Examples include older protocols like POP, IMAP, SMTP, and basic authentication used by older apps or scripts. The key problem is MFA does not apply to these sign-in methods. The second question comes, why is legacy authentication a security risk? And the answer is attackers love legacy authentication because it allows them to use stolen username and passwords without triggering MFA. Even if you have enforced MFA for all users, legacy authentication can still act as a backdoor. I've personally seen multiple Microsoft 365 tenants where MFA was enabled, but legacy authentication was still allowed, making the environment vulnerable. So what is real world impact? So this is commonly exploited using password spray attacks. Attackers try one weak password across many accounts, and because legacy authentication does not require MFA, they eventually get in. Once inside, they can access emails, move laterally, and even set up persistence. How to detect legacy authentication is enabled or disabled. So in order to check, you will have to log into you should have a read-only access or a global admin access to your Microsoft 365 portal. Log into your Microsoft 365 portal, go to Entra ID, then filter by client type, and then look for legacy authentication sign-in logs. If you see successful sign-ins using legacy protocols, that's a red flag. So the second question comes, how we can disable legacy authentication. The recommended approach is to create a conditional access policy that blocks legacy authentication for all users. And Microsoft also provides built-in templates to make this easier for us. But before enforcing it tenant-wide, always test with the pilot group and make sure no business critical apps depends on legacy protocols. Important warning. Some older devices, scanners, or applications may still rely on legacy authentication. If that's the case, you should replace them or use modern authentication alternatives, not keep legacy auth enabled. So final thought, legacy authentication is one of the most common and most dangerous misconfigurations I see in Microsoft 365 environments. Disabling it is one of the fastest security wins you can implement today. If you want to learn more about the legacy authentication, I've also written an article on ITBlogs.ca. Link is also in the description for you guys. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel ITBlogs by Jaspreet for more tips. And you can also like, share, and comment with questions. Thank you guys.